What a day this has been. What a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me.
Welcome to the Joliet Area Historical Museum 12th Annual Gala. I'm Susan Stockwell, and today is Saturday, and we're here today because we have a crowd coming in. The Joliet Area Historical Museum does a fundraiser to assist the Joliet Museum once a year, and this is one of their biggest fundraisers that they have on a yearly basis. Everyone in town will be here, and it's going to be a good time had by all. They're going to have a 5-course meal, and I know that the reservation has been sold out. So with that, we're going to have to go upstairs and watch the Joliet Area Historical Museum Gala.
I'm here with Executive Director Greg Pierbolt. What brings us here to this fine night?
Well, this is our 12th annual gala in DreamMakers Ball at the Joliet Area Historical Museum.
And who's getting the DreamMaker Award? Tell us a little bit about her and what's going on with that.
Sure, tonight we're honoring Dorthy Mavrich, who was instrumental in leading a community effort to restore the Rialto Theater. I'm sure all our viewers have been to the Rialto at one time or another. 40 years ago, it was under the threat of demolition, and Dorthy took up the reins, decided that she was not going to let that happen, and today we have the beautiful Rialto Theater in large part because of her work.
That's awesome. And she'll be here?
She will be here.
Awesome. Okay. And I can't wait to see her. I'm sure we'll see her a little bit later. And then tell us a little bit about this fine piece behind us.
Sure. Well, this is the Centennial Wall, the Rotary Club of Joliet Centennial Wall behind me. It was funded by our local Rotary Club, and we just got it in here yesterday, just in time for the gala. So it's going to help us properly greet our many visitors from foreign countries, as well as highlight different events we have here at the museum. It serves as kind of a very magnificent introduction for a magnificent museum, so we're very happy to have it here.
Well, it's beautiful. I love it. It's got great charismatic.
Classy.
It's very classy.
Classy.
Yeah.
It's got great lines.
I love it. I
Very
love it.
sleek.
And then what will be like on these screens over here? I mean, just different things?
Yeah, we had a few little hiccups with these screens, but we can do different photos, event slides. If you can see the monitor we have there, we're also capable of kind of doing short video, so whatever we feel like showing people. Again, when you have visitors from 34 different countries, you also want to be conscious of different languages that we can put stuff in, so we're really excited for all the possibilities here.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's going to be a beautiful night. Sounds like a great menu and great turnout with people, too. Who are like some of the more important people we're expecting here tonight?
Me, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We do have, besides Dorothy, we do have representatives from our board of directors who are all going to be here. Any kind of heavy-hitting organization you can imagine in Joliet, St. Francis University, Lewis University, Joliet Junior College, ExxonMobil, will all be represented tonight. So it's a lot of heavy hitters in the room tonight.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be a great night. Thanks for talking with us and giving us a little bit of a background of what's going on here tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have a great night. Another guest we love to see, Mayor Girani here. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Ready for a great evening? Yes. This is a great event, nice event to honor Betty Mavrich in the Rialto. Years ago they were talking about tearing it down, and thank God she come forward. And I read the story about it. She raised a lot of money and kept it open. I don't know what downtown Joliet would be like without it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's very true.
so.
And it's beautiful, and I know everyone in Joliet's at least been to the Rialto once. I mean, it's a beautiful place to go. A lot of people like to go see the plays and the concerts, and it just brings a lot to the community.
Absolutely. I like, when I go to an event there, to stand in the rotunda and see the people that come in that have never seen it before, and they walk in and they're,
just a shock factor.
Yes,
it's
right.
beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it's a great addition to downtown Joliet. A great anchor.
Yeah, and it's a great night to be here. I know it's a little rainy outside, but it's beautiful inside. They've done great with the decorations, and we got a couple bars open. We're going to have great food, and you're going to have a good time tonight.
Absolutely, certainly. And if I don't, it's my own fault.
Well, I'll be looking out for you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
You're welcome.
We're here with Mike Turk tonight, and we have a beautiful fountain behind us, and I know you're here, just for the support of tonight and what's been happening. And I know you have another little bit of a testimony for the museum.
Right, it's a beautiful museum. It's the gala they have every year just gets bigger and better every year, and it's a very classy event and helps the museum quite a bit. I had some relatives in from California 2 weeks ago, brought them down here, and we gave them a tour of the museum, and they were just in awe. And the gentleman who gave us the tour, I'm sorry I can't remember his name, but he gave us a tour, and he mentioned that a week before, I think in one day he had people visiting the museum from 7 different countries. And so, it's not just local people and school kids, but the fact that it follows the Route 66 corridor is a major thing. I guess that's the thing right now to travel Route 66 and go across country, and this is one of the stops. We're very fortunate and that we've done that they've done so well.
Mm-hmm. And it's turned, we've talked about this a couple times before, it's turned into a beautiful place downtown. We have all the beautiful, I don't want to say old, but just very architectural things that have so much of a past to them and a history, and it's good to bring people down here to take a look at it, and even from different countries. It's a crazy thing to think about. It's like there's people from other countries coming to Joliet, and we don't we think of like Las Vegas. It's like that's where we'd go, but we're talking about Joliet, and there's more down here than people out there really know.
And Joliet's more of a destination place than it's ever been with the Speedway, and when these relatives would come to town 20 years ago, there wouldn't be as much stuff to entertain them or stuff to see. So we took them to the Rialto. We got a tour of the Rialto, and everybody that goes in there is in awe of what's going on. So Joliet is we're the architecture back years ago, as you talked about. Back in the 60s and 70s, things were kind of supposed to go modern, and now, thank God, some of those buildings weren't torn down, and that we've got them here and rehabbing them and taking a good look at them.
Well, and I've said many times before, I love the Rialto. Everybody here loves Rialto. Thank God for what Dorothy did just to keep it there.
You better believe it. And I can recall that whole situation, and she done an awesome job, and it came within, I think, of a couple of months of the wrecking ball, and it would have been gone. And there's no way when you walk through there, money couldn't replace that facility today. It would just be too costly. So
priceless. It's a beautiful place. Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you later.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. This is Mike Brick that we have here tonight. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen tonight as far as raffles, talks, stuff like that?
Sure. We've got some nice raffle silent auction gifts. We've got 5 large packages. We packaged together some things for a men's package, a fun package. We got some a Coors Light football chair. You've got tickets to some sporting events. You've got a 6-month pass to the Joliet Park District. We've got a nice women's package for the ladies. There's some spa treatments in there, some tickets to Rialto shows, so arts, entertainment, dining. We've got a lot of coupons for free dinners and things like that. And then we've got some fun packages for the whole family, so something for everybody.
Okay. And then, with this beautiful wall and everything coming together, I think tonight's going to be a beautiful night. What are some things that you're looking forward to tonight?
You know what? We, honoring the DreamMakers, who are the Rialto Square Theater, and I think Greg talked about that, and Dorthy Mavrich. But also, if you look over here, I don't know if you could pan the camera over here, the Rotary Wall. This was actually installed yesterday, and it was funded by the Joliet Rotary Club. And what it does is it really gives direction. There's touch screens, and we can put videos and content on there. What will I see up in the museum? What are some of the upcoming events? Some things like that. And then if you pan over here, we also had the informational digital kiosk installed yesterday. And what that does, when people come into the from out of town, whether it's from, another country, another state. Where do I go? What do I see in downtown Joliet? They go up to the touch screen. Where do I eat? The hotel, entertainment, casinos, things like that. And one of the aspects that we love about that thing, it will populate in 7 different languages. So if I'm from Spain or Germany or, Japan, I can hit my country's flag and it'll come up in my language. So a really cool thing. Yeah, we like that.
So it's easy to navigate, easy for people with different languages to see where it's going. And Greg talked a little bit about that, but you're going a little more in depth with it. So the different languages, they can just pick the flag and it's that simple. And then they know what to do. They know where to go, and it's easy enough.
Exactly. We just wanted to enhance the experience, make it easy so when they come in, if we're busy at the gift shop or the docent's busy, they can walk up to the touch screens, they go up to the information center and find out where to go, what to see, and some of the attractions around the area.
Well, and I was also telling Greg a little bit after we got off camera, just the modernization of downtown Joliet now, and this wall really just puts it with it. It's got a great characteristic, and, with the new building of JJC, now we have this wall. It's just everything's coming together. We have that old and new look.
Yep, it's great. And, down the line, we've already got funding for some new exhibits, permanent exhibits in the main exhibit hall. I don't know if Greg talked about the Strike Up the Band exhibit. That'll start next month, construction, so that's fully funded. So a lot going on in the museum, a lot of new things. We're happy about that.
Yeah, so if you're in the downtown area, please come down and see this new beautiful wall. It's gorgeous, and we have the new informational desk over here. That's really cool, and I like what they've done with the place, so thank you very much for all your time and effort.
Okay, thank you.
I'm here with Natalie and Larry. What brings you here tonight? What are you looking forward to?
Well, we are at the Joliet Historical Museum. We are honoring Dorthy Mavrich and the Rialto Square Theater, and as long as I've been in Joliet, that's both those names are synonymous with one another. And I got to tell you, I've done the radio show with Lynn and Mary on WJOL for about 11 years now, and Lynn, Dorthy Mavrich is one of her idols, and we hear about Dorthy all the time. And Dorthy, and Lynn will tell you, to her credit, Dorthy was responsible for saving the Rialto Square Theater from the wrecking ball. So I think it's great that they're both being honored tonight, and I want to wish them much congratulations. The executive director, Randy Green, does a great job there, and his staff is second to none. So congratulations to all of you.
So I'm here to enjoy a nice evening. First off, my wife and I have come out and at the DreamMakers Ball, and hey, do I get to interview you first?
Yeah,
There we go.
it's a switch, isn't it? Whenever there's a camera and a microphone, there's Lynn.
There you go.
No, Natalie just made me get over here. She kept saying, get over here, so that's the only reason I'm here.
Well, it's nice to see you, Lynn.
Always good to see you.
We're talking about how you talk about Dorthy being the one person that saved that beautiful theater.
Oh, yes. There's no question about it, because it was literally, they talk about the wrecking ball coming down Chicago Street to tear it down for a parking lot.
Yep.
And Dorthy said no. She sat listening to the Barton Grand and said, no. I looked around and I couldn't believe that they were going to tear it down.
And now it's one of the show places of the Midwest.
Yes, and both of you are state reps, but also State Rep Leroy Van Dyne is the one that took the cause downstate. So we owe it to our state representatives. They do good work in Springfield.
When it comes time to helping back home, that's what we're there for.
Yes, and he said he saw Dorthy at a fundraiser, and he said, I think you're a lady that means business. So he's the one that went downstate and got the funding so that they could develop the Civic Center Authority here in Joliet.
Yep. And it's been working since,
It
right?
has. It certainly has.
And now we're actually in the process of bringing another $2 million back to do some renovation at the Rialto.
Fantastic.
So it's just keeps getting better, and it's going to grow. So.
It's an aging lady. She's 87 years old, so she needs a little facelift.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Of course. I'd like a little Botox myself.
So tell us about the Rialto, what it means to you. You've been around this area a long time.
Well, I like music, and one of the very first show I went to see there was Melissa Etheridge back in 1988, before she even got popular.
I was there at the time. We brought her
here. Just the acoustics and seeing a live show in the Rialto Theater, there's nothing better. I like the small atmosphere. It's very intimate, and I've been trying to get Randy Green to line up Neil Young to come, and I'd be one of the first ones in line.
Okay, all right, yeah.
But that's what I really like going there for. And last year, or 2 years ago, I took my kids, and the WJOL Next Media.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It is so nice.
It's
so
nice
fun.
to watch how that radio show, the old radio show, was done.
How does it feel to be the son of an angel?
Yeah, well, that's.
Your father is
We'll
Clarence.
have a different story tomorrow.
Your father is Clarence.
Yes, I know that, and I've listened to him on the radio.
I would tell you.
I need to.
Come and see It's a Wonderful Life in December. It's a beautiful experience. Children love it. People come back every year. It's just really wonderful. So see something at the Rialto. It's an experience all in itself, just being in the theater.
Yep.
So
And to watch how an old radio show was actually put on is just worth its weight in gold. You see the papers fly in the air, and then the guy come by and sweep them away, and the kids just, what are they doing?
And we engage the audience, too.
Yep.
They have to applaud, they have to boo, they have to act like the angry mob at the bank, so everybody gets involved. But I need to excuse myself.
Lynn is the MC tonight, so thanks for talking with us.
Thank you. Thanks for the interview.
All right, no problem.
You're a natural.
Thanks, Lynn.
Make my job easy.
Making her job easy.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dorthy Mavrich and the Rialto Square Theater.
Yes, congratulations. Have a fun evening.
Thank you. I'm here reuniting with Lori and Jay Bergman. Welcome to the Joliet Area Historical Museum Gala. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
Well, looking forward to the gala as a whole. You know, since they started these 10, 11 years ago, I've only missed 2 of them.
Oh.
And so really looking forward to it. This is great fun. It's a good event. It's a good it's a good cause to support.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about being here tonight.
Well, great. And how about you, Lori? Like, what are you looking forward to? I mean, I know that Dorthy is a big cause for tonight.
Yes, honoring Dorthy and the Rialto, which is the jewel of Joliet.
Yeah.
And so that's fun. And seeing a lot of people that we know that we don't get to see very often is always fun, too.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being here, and it's great to see you again.
Well, we're really happy to be here, and I know we're going to have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Have a great night.
Thank you.
I'm here with Councilman Morris and his beautiful wife, Deidre. I know we're here for a great cause. What are some of your feelings about the Rialto and why we're here tonight?
Well, I think the Rialto is a great jewel for downtown Chicago, and we need to keep it alive and vibrant and bringing in very good entertainment for the Joliet and Will County area. And I think this is a great event. This is our second year attending, and it's wonderful meeting a lot of the people in the area that supports the Rialto. And we've always just had a great, wonderful evening.
I agree. And what about you, Deidre? I mean, have you seen some shows at the Rialto before?
Yes, I have. Enjoyed them. Very nice entertainment for a city of Joliet.
And it's a beautiful place. I mean, you look up and it's gorgeous in there. And for Dorothy to really, stand up for that. I mean, we may not have even had it here today. We wouldn't be here celebrating this cause. So it's a great thing that she's done.
Right, it is. And I mean, it's just wonderful that she did it. And looking back now, it was a great thing that she stood up for to save the Rialto from being wrecked and, a lot, I guess, a parking lot or something. Yeah. So it's a beautiful place, and many people need to come in and see just the beautiful, not even if you have to come to a show, just to come in and see the great architect and beauty of the Rialto.
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful night. They've done a beautiful job decorating. We got a beautiful ice sculpture. I guess we're going to have a great menu and some great speakers, some great raffles. It's just a good night to celebrate.
Right, it is. Again, it's just a wonderful event. It brings a lot of the good people of Joliet out to participate in a wonderful cause.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for being here, and I hope you two enjoy your night.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with Randy Green, and I hear you are the Rialto. What are some things that you've done with the Rialto?
Well, I don't know if I am the Rialto. The Rialto of itself is a historic building that I don't think anybody can match, but I've had the privilege of being there now 13 years, and to see people come in the doors, to see how much they enjoy the entertainers that are on the stage. To me, that's the value of having such a great resource in the community, is having people enjoy it. So I'm delighted to be there and bringing shows that people enjoy day in and day out.
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful place. I've been there a few times. I love it. It's just the architecture of it and just the beautiful paintings all over. It's gorgeous. And, you know, I know you'll probably have some soft feelings for it, I'm sure.
Well, I do. I mean, I feel very honored to be able to have the opportunity to do what I do there, and there's so many people in Joliet and the surrounding communities who have supported the Rialto, and we thank them so much for, making it possible for us to continue doing today what started 87 years ago.
Absolutely. And Dorothy did a great thing keeping it there. I mean, what would Joliet be without the Rialto?
I don't think anybody would ever know that, and I think that's something that would be a tragedy. And what a remarkable lady, and the stories about her and her perseverance and not taking no for answer, I think is a testimonial to her and people like that who have true convictions in doing something about what they feel so strongly about.
Absolutely. She put her foot down and said, no, this is not happening, and had people behind her to support her on it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, she's the person who gets the credit, but there were so many other people who were there who followed her lead, and we were grateful that they did.
And it was a great march. I hear the wrecking ball was right down the street, and she stopped it and left a beautiful place here.
Well, thank goodness for Dorothy. That's all I can say.
Yep. What a DreamMaker award. It definitely goes to her, and I give it to her. And thank you for all that you've done for us as well.
Oh, my pleasure. I enjoy it. Thanks so much, Katie.
And have a great night tonight.
I will. Thank you.
This is Pam. Pam, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here tonight.
I'm Pam Owens, and I am the Executive Director of City Center Partnership. We're the downtown organization, and I'm relatively new to Joliet. I've been here about 4 months now, and I really love it.
You like what you see so far. Have you seen the Rialto yet?
Oh, yes. It's beautiful. Beautiful, yeah. And this building in particular I really love because I'm sort of a historic architecture buff, and this is a Daniel Burnham building, so I'm very excited to be in this building, too.
It's beautiful down here, and we're happy to have you here. We have several guests here, and the building and the cause and just everything that's gone down for this. And you know the story of Dorothy and what she's done. What are some feelings you have about that?
I think that the Rialto Theater definitely is one of the crowning jewels of downtown Joliet. So had that been lost, it would have been setting the downtown revitalization effort back just literally decades. It is definitely a wonderful thing to have in our downtown.
Absolutely. And it would have been a lot different down here. It wouldn't have been as alive. And, like you said, it's a jewel. It started this huge thing all around us, and it could have been a parking lot. I mean, it was very different. So tell me a little bit more about what you're doing and how you're doing here and how you're settling in.
As I said, we're the downtown organization. One of the reasons why I was hired was because I have a background in economic development and downtown development in particular. So one of the things we'll be working on is giving business support to the existing businesses downtown and trying to fill the vacancies that you see on the storefront vacancies.
That's beautiful, and it's a great job, and we're happy to have you here, and that will do some great justice to downtown as well.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
I hope you have a great night. I hear we got some great raffles going on, so get in on that.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you take your seat, we'll get started here. As you see on the screen, there's no business like show business, and we're here tonight to celebrate show business, the Rialto Square Theater, Dorthy Mavrich. And I am your MC. I'm Lynn Lichtenauer. I'm a board member. Save your applause. You might not want to do it at the end. But anyway, I'm a board member of the museum, and I'm also a board member of the Rialto Square Theater Foundation. And what a privilege it is for me to welcome you to such a memorable occasion. It's a wonderful evening for all of us, and we appreciate your being here. And now it's my privilege to introduce to you the Executive Director of the Joliet Area Historical Museum, Gregory Pierwold. Gregory? You want my microphone? I'll lend it to you.
Thank you. Lynn Lichtenauer, everybody. How about it? Wow, thank you so much. This is a great night for not only the Joliet Area Historical Museum, but for the community of Joliet, and we appreciate your support. I'm going to keep my comments brief because I understand that food delivery hinges on them. So I'd like to talk to you just a little bit tonight about our past DreamMaker Award recipients and acknowledge them if we can. We have John Hobalt and Neil and Nancy Hobalt. John Leach, who is with us tonight. Mr. Leach. We have Laverne and Dorothy Brown. And finally, last year, the Joliet Township High School Band Program. So there are your DreamMakers. And Miss Dorothy Mavrich will be joining them. You are in great company tonight. I would also like to send a quick thank you to our staff here at the museum. They did a wonderful job. What do you think? This all doesn't just happen. Staff and their volunteers have been wonderful. They've done a great job tonight, as well as our board of directors. And you may have noticed that we have a new piece of furniture downstairs. That is the Centennial Wall, which was sponsored by our Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Joliet. So if you are a Rotarian, can you please stand and be acknowledged? Thank you to our Rotarians. It is a magnificent introduction to a magnificent museum, and we thank you so much. Again, it's a great night for community, so keep that in mind. We're all here not just because of our love of the museum, but our love of the community of Joliet, and I'm officially a resident now, so I'm with you. So thank you all again. Let's have some fun tonight. Enjoy yourselves, and I will give it back to Lynn.
Thank you, Gregory. We welcome our elected officials, and we welcome Tom Girani, our mayor, and his wife Rose, Councilman Terry Morse, Councilman Mike Turk, our city manager Tom Thanis, and I like your choice of colors tonight, Tom. Thank you. I think we should stand next to each other. State Representative Larry Walsh Jr., and State Representative Natalie Manley of Lynn, Mary, and Natalie, WJOL. There may be other elected officials in the House that we don't know about, but please, if you are in attendance, we do appreciate very much your being here. It wouldn't be it's not very difficult to do this, because we have such wonderful sponsors. They have the generosity of our gold sponsors, our ExxonMobil Corporation, Harris Joliet Casino and Hotel, Hollywood Casino Joliet, and Lewis University. Also, I'd like to call your attention to the program, because in the program is a complete listing of those who have helped bring the gala to you this evening, and you have our gratitude. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the Board of Directors of the Joliet Area Historical Museum, Robert Kuzma. Robert?
Thank you, Lynn. I know on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank all of our guests here tonight for coming out to our gala. And whether it's your first or your 12th gala, we thank you for your support. We hope it will continue in the future as the museum makes great strides to become a destination point here in Joliet for visitors from throughout the world. As Greg mentioned, an event like this doesn't happen without a lot of people working behind the scenes, and I would once again just like to acknowledge our hardworking staff and volunteers who put a lot of extra hours into putting the event together tonight. They're over there in the corner. If they just raise their hands so we could just acknowledge them one more time. And then I would also like to just acknowledge our board members who also put in a lot of hard work to this event and do so every year. If they would just either stand or wave or do whatever they feel like doing when I call their name. Dr. Demis Kremen, John Leach, Lynn Lichtenauer, Mike Ridoff, Raymond Slattery, Terry Hackett, Scott Jones, Dr. Michael Vinciguerra, Rex Easton, Val Rand, Helen Ross, James Smith, Mayor Tom Giranti, Susan Prokopik, and last but not least, the chair of our Gala committee, Virginia Ferry. In selecting the Dreammaker each year, the board reviews a number of criteria, and I'd like to just go over those with you before the presentation of the award. The criteria we look at is whether or not an organization or an individual has realized their dreams and or assisted others in realizing their dreams, whether their actions have historical significance, whether they have made a contribution to society, whether they have made an impact on the Joliet Area Historical Museum, and have they been in Will County for a significant amount of time. Tonight's Dreammaker Award will be presented by Lynn Lichtenauer.
Thank you, Robert. Well, this is the time we've waited for. There's no business like show business. And we have two recipients that are near and dear to my heart. We have the Rialto Square Theater, and we have Dorthy Mavrich. And I'm sure that you can say, yes. I'm sure you can say that they fit every criteria for the DreamMakers Award. Randy Green, the general manager, is going to escort Dorthy to the center stage. You want to bring her to us, and also so we can give the awards that are well deserved. I have known Dorthy for several years, and maybe I hope that she won't mind if I tell her age. She's 93 years young. And she's beautiful, the lady in red. Come over here. I'll come down. I'll come down and talk with you. And
why are you here?
Say that again.
Why are you here again?
See what I mean? Okay, Dorthy. I'm here because I love you and because you deserve the DreamMakers Award.
I do.
You do?
Thank you very much, because I can remember you coming up to me when I was in a rattled, tattled, what was I in?
You were in Bernard selling tickets to the Rialto shows.
That's right, and the very first girl that came there, I was dancing on the Rialto stage.
Who said that?
You.
Okay. All right. A couple of things that I want to mention. This afternoon, I received a phone call from your sister, Babe. Babe can't be with us this evening, and she very much wanted to. She's recuperating from some surgery. But she had a message for you. She said, tell Dorthy, I love her, and I'm very, very proud of her. And I said I would deliver that message to you. Dorothy's family is here. Her sister Gladys and her niece Robin and many friends are at her table. One thing I wanted to mention, because it's a very funny story. When you went in to see Mr. Robert Rubens with your idea to save the theater, what did he say to you?
Oh, so you're the crackpot? Or crab apple, I don't know, that was coming up here all the time to see him, and they would never let me come into his office. And that was a man.
Okay. And what did they say when you went to the city council meetings?
I need a millionaire.
That's true. And they said, when they saw you there, what did they say?
Oh, is she here again?
So that's a little bit about Dorthy. So, Dorthy?
You're not saying I was a gutsy person and a...
Oh. Dorothy. This is the Dorothy Mavrich Show. All right. Well, Dorothy, usually I'm not at a loss for words, but remember the two men that went by you when you were standing on the street corner of Chicago and Van Buren with your can for Rialto coins, and they walked by, and what did you think in your mind when they snickered at you?
Well,
do you want to say it?
What did I say?
Well,
I said so many things I can't remember, but they said that the city should be.
Okay.
Is that the one?
No, it was a little more than that, but we won't go into it, okay? You didn't have very nice words for these gentlemen in your thoughts. But also, I want to mention there was Chris Dragatzis.
And the Rubens, but you beat me to it.
Okay, and John Rasich, who is deceased, they both helped you, businessmen in Joliet, and also State Representative Leroy Van Dyne took the cause downstate to get the Civic Center Authority for Joliet. Isn't that right?
That's right. You got it right.
Thank you. I had a good teacher. So, Dorothy?
Well, I had students one student come up to me and tell me that she took lessons from me for 10 years, and now she's teaching.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful is right. And if you talk too much more, I'm going to tell some more things about you.
Oh, no, you're not. Okay. All right. Well, this interview is over, Dorothy. Robert?
Dorothy, the Joliet Area Historical Museum is very pleased to present you with this year's DreamMaker Award.
Here you are, Dorothy. This is for you. Do you want to take it here? Here, hold it. Can you hold this, Dorothy? Okay. You're getting a standing ovation also, Dorothy.
The award was, I was too bitchy and too gutsy. That's what I used before.
I don't think that's inscribed on the plaque. Thank you, Dorothy.
Maybe we should do it over like we did the sign on the Rialto and we had the Rubens name put back on.
Yes, Randy Green, the general manager of the theater, and you got together to put the Rubens sign back on the Rialto. All right. I'm going to introduce Randy right now. Can I do that?
Yes, you can, honey. You know you can do anything you want with me for a time.
All right. Randy Green. Oh, come on over. Come over here. We'll come over here. It's wonderful that you're here running the Rialto Square Theater. And keep it going. It's 87 years old.
Well, I tell you, this is a very hard act to follow, but I have to say, I am so thankful that Dorothy accomplished what she did because I have a job today as a result of it. So thank you for keeping me employed, Dorothy. I appreciate that. But you know, this is a story that needed to be told, and this is an individual who needed to be recognized for what she did for this community. And I am so glad that the museum and the people who have recognized the contribution that Dorothy and the Rialto has made has given us the opportunity to be here tonight.
It's wonderful. And Robert, you have a presentation for Randy?
Yes, Randy, on behalf of the Joliet Area Historical Museum, we are pleased to present you with this year's DreamMakers Award.
Thank you very much. Can you hold that down? I want to thank you all for the recognition, and if you will permit me for a moment, I want to thank you for the opportunity to stand here and represent the Rialto Square Theater, and I'm so pleased that Dorothy has been recognized for the DreamMakers Award, and what an extraordinary lady and what an extraordinary story. First, I want to thank the Board of Directors of the museum in bestowing the award on the Rialto Square Theater, and I'd like to take a few moments to recognize and thank a group of people many of whom are here tonight, who have been so very important to the Rialto. There are people who have made it possible for the Rialto to continue to serve the community as it does tonight. We have a performance of Frank Caliendo, 1,600 people in the Rialto tonight. So the Rialto, and I'm not there, but I'm very happy to be here. So would you please stand whenever I announce you and remain standing, because I would like the group here to see these people and to acknowledge them, but you'll please hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. Members and representatives of the Rialto volunteers, an amazing group of people, nearly 300 of them, who give of their time, talents, and resources day in and day out for decades. Would you please stand? Members of the Rialto Square Theater Foundation, who are out there every day looking at how to make the Rialto better and to find the resources necessary to do what we do. Would you please stand? Representatives of IATSE Local 124, whose members are worked so hard and for so many years, working Rialto shows for the 87 years that performers have appeared on the stage. Would you please stand? The dedicated and talented staff members of the Rialto, most of whom are working tonight, thankfully, but those who aren't, who are here tonight, please stand. The Rialto has been most fortunate for most of the 8 decades to have the support of the City Council and the City of Joliet. Mayor Tom Girardi and members of the City Council, thank you for your continued support and encouragement to fulfill our mission for the community. Mayor and council members, would you please stand? City Manager Tom Thanis, we thank you for the vision you have brought to this community and especially to the downtown and the unwavering support of the Rialto. Tom, would you please stand? Last but not least, my thanks to someone who has served the Rialto for nearly 4 decades and provided his counsel and guidance, Mr. Tom Carey, the legal counsel for the Rialto County Metropolitan Exposition and Auditorium Authority. Tom, would you please stand? Now, a big round of applause and recognition for their support and dedication for making sure the Rialto continues to do what Dorothy intended it to do. Thank you very much. Jim Smith, would you come forward, please? I'd like to introduce James V. Smith, who I'm sure you all know, who is the chairman of the Will County Metropolitan Exposition and Auditorium Authority.
Thank you, Randy. And I would like to recognize and thank our excellent general manager of 13 years, Randy Green, who just received a 3-year contract extension. Congratulations, Randy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Finally, I would like to recognize my colleagues on the board of the WCMEAA. If you would all please stand. Come on. Thank you all for what you do. And again, thank you very much to the museum board for this great honor tonight. And one more thing, there wouldn't be a Rialto Square Theater if it weren't for Dorothy Mavrich.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Randy and Dorothy. It's a wonderful evening because it means so much to the city of Joliet to have the Rialto Square Theater. I know that most of you in this room have attended shows and weddings and all sorts of activities at the Rialto. And what would Chicago Street be without the Rialto Square Theater? Thank you so very much. I would like to have Brother James Gaffney come here, please. I saw him earlier. He is the president of Lewis University and a wonderful gentleman. Would you give us the invocation, Brother James?
It'll be less colorful than the presentation by and to Dorothy. So let us bow our head in prayers. Gracious and loving God, this evening we celebrate the vision, the determination, the inspiration, and the outstanding leadership of one woman, Dorothy Mavrich. Remarkable person whose dream, whose voice, whose extraordinary initiative ultimately resulted in the preservation and a multitude of enhancements for the splendid Rialto Square Theater. And so this evening we also call to mind and give thanks and praise for the marvelous cultural institution that the Rialto Square Theater has become and will continue to be for many generations to come. Thanks to Dorothy, and thanks to those many others who collaborate with her so effectively. And lastly, by our very presence this evening at this annual DreamMakers Ball, we affirm once again our great esteem for the very dedicated and capable staff and generous and effective board members and volunteers associated with the Joliet Area Historical Museum, itself another precious resource and highly valued cultural institution for the entire Joliet and Will County area. Bless us all in this Gala meal and those who prepared it and are sharing it with us as we unite in appreciation and celebration of three genuine treasures: Dorothy, the Rialto, and the Joliet Area Historical Museum. And this we pray with gratitude. In your name and your spirit, amen.
Thank you so much, Brother James.
And you told everyone to stand, or someone did. Anyone in here did that. Everybody did that. I can't stand, and I'm sitting on a too big can.
Okay, Dorothy, that's enough. This is Dorothy's caregiver, Beth, who takes wonderful care of Our Lady here. Thank you so very much. Okay, you can take her. Yes, you can take her back. We'll talk with you later, Dorothy. Okay. Now you know why she saved the Rialto. Who would ever deny this lady? I'd like to direct your attention to the screen for a video presentation. There's no business like show business.
It began as most great things do, with a dream. 6 brothers conceived the dream and moved it forward to a vision of incomparable splendor and elegance. In 1921, the Reuben brothers broke ground and began to move that vision to reality. They hired a world-renowned sculptor to populate the interior with works of amazing art. They engaged a building contractor who would later go on to design the buildings for the Chicago World's Fair in 1933. The architect would bring in styles from the Italian Renaissance, Greek, Roman, Byzantine, Rococo, Venetian, and Baroque styles of architecture. And on May 24, 1926, no opening could be grander. But as has happened with so many downtown areas across America, Joliet too came into its decline, and it seemed as if the destiny for the Rialto Theater was for it to become a parking lot. And if it weren't for one courageous lady, that might have indeed happened.
Well, I don't think it's a story that Hollywood could have made up.
One performance on the Barton Grand Theater pipe organ was all it took for Dorothy Mavrich, music teacher, to be moved to action.
I'd go in and I'd sit down and watch whoever was performing. And I thought, as I'm seeing the organist play, I thought, they're going to tear this down. And I looked around and I just happened to think, oh no, you can't.
You know, to see the value and the treasure of the Rialto come into question and almost meet the in its final days at the end of a wrecking ball, it was a story of a woman who said, I'm not going to let that happen, and she didn't.
Dorothy's persistence with Robert Rubens, son of the original founding owners, paid off. The Save the Rialto campaign launched in 1972 with Dorothy at the helm. Soon came the Rialto Square Arts Association. Then the Illinois legislature created an authority to purchase the Rialto Square complex and to steer the restoration. Then Governor James Thompson appointed Dorothy to head the authority. Dorothy herself served as construction manager, and the restoration was on.
The people that were working on the theater carrying pails up a ladder and the plaster in the pails. And I thought, that day I saw that, they certainly suffered and worked hard here to get the theater saved.
And on November 21st, 1981, the Rialto was back.
You have a really intimate environment that was designed to bring the artist and the audience together. And I enjoy sitting or standing right over there off stage on nights of shows and watching what happens between the artist and the audience, because that's what makes what we do so rewarding, is to see that interchange that happens between the artist and the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed your dinner. Our compliments to the Joliet Junior College, Culinary staff, and the Renaissance Center, and Susan Stockwell. It was wonderful. Thank you so much. It is now my pleasure, my distinct pleasure, to introduce to you our orchestra for this evening, Bergeson Orchestra. And Del is I have to say this, I'm the Director of Alumni for Joliet Township High School. I have to say that Del Bergeson is a Kingsman, Joliet East. Go Kingsman. And you might recognize some of the people in the orchestra. One of them is Tom Drake, who is the conductor of the American Legion Band. Yes. And a good friend of mine, Paul Johnson, on keyboard. It's so nice to see Paul. So, without further ado, please welcome Del Bergeson Orchestra.
Why, it's almost like being in love. Welcome tonight. We're going to be doing all sorts of various different kinds of music tonight. We're starting off with a bunch of big band, but we are going into some line dances and a little rock and roll and a little country music and just have a good time tonight. We're going to take you back to the days of the Count Basie Orchestra. Chicago to LA.
I am here with Del, and Del is with the orchestra band. Del, tell me a little bit about the orchestra band, the name of it, and how long you've been involved with it.
Well, it's called the Bergeson Orchestra, and we've been together for about 2.5 years. It was formerly the J. Mao Orchestra. Jay had retired, moved to Florida, and I bought the band from him. So we've been together for about 2.5 years now.
I remember Jay. Jay had this band forever, didn't he?
Yes, we were together for about close to 15 years. I played trombone for him, and it was a great time.
So tell me a little bit about the band, where you travel, what kind of music that you play.
Okay, we do a lot of the big band era, the Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller, and we do some more contemporary, Sly and the Family Stone, Cool and the Gang. So we're trying to go ahead and do a wide variety of genre to go ahead and meet our audience.
So is this type of a band good for weddings, banquets, corporate affairs? Tell me a little bit of insight if somebody wanted to hire you.
Yes, we can do just about anything, from weddings to galas like this tonight. Just about anything. We can go ahead and select music to go ahead and meet the need.
Okay, and are the bride and groom allowed to select their own music?
Yes, we've got a wide variety of different music, and we can give them an inventory that they can choose from and find out the songs that they want to have.
That is so wonderful. His music is terrific. He's really got the house crowded upstairs. Del, why don't you look in the camera and tell the people your telephone number and where they can reach you if they want to get a hold of you.
Sure thing. My phone is 815-546-8724. You can reach me on my email as well, del.bergeson, Bergeson, @comcast.net.
Well, Del, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, it's the end of the evening, and the gala went so well. I am so excited for the Joliet Area Historical Museum. I can't believe how many came out this evening and were in attendance. It was a great time had by all. Everyone ate and had a really good time. The silent auction went very well, so I hope the museum met their quote for this year's event. And the event will take place again next year in October. So those that didn't attend this evening, make sure that you buy your ticket for the 2014 Joliet Area Historical Museum Gala. I'm Susie Stockwell from the Renaissance Center, and have a great evening.
Track my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your